This is awesome. What I wasn't expecting to be reviewing so soon is a new grip for the collective mount. Hello YouTubers, this is the noobifier. I've been truly enjoying having the combination of Virpil and Monster Tech as a legit helicopter sim in my studio. There was one thing that my wife noticed once it was fully set up and running, and that was that more people were more interested in testing VR helicopter than road sim. With road sim, you could theoretically just go drive a car and get a real driving sim experience. But with helicopters, it's obviously a lot harder to do IRL because good luck finding someone who's going to lend you one, and everyone who sat in the sim were ultimately trying to answer one question: do I have what it takes to fly a helicopter? It's a crazy balancing act where every input or adjustment unbalances another. Add collective, you increase torque to the rotor, which means you need to adjust bipedals to fly where you want to. Get it right and it's so rewarding. Get it wrong and you crash, right? But because it's sim, it doesn't cost a life, so all you need to do is reset. It's nothing like flying a plane, and as I said, so many just wanted seat time to see if they have what it takes. So the point of today's video is to review the newest Hawk 60 collective grip from Virpil as part of their growing lineup of products. This is their second grip, and I will say lately Virpil quality has gone up, which actually makes the review process a lot more about how to use it and what it looks like, rather than whether or not it's a good value. That question will be yours to answer because it's your decision if you do not want to afford the release target price at $220 US. The Hawk 60 is modeled after the UH-60 Blackhawk, and it's brand new at the time of this video. Mine is an early pre-release candidate without a serial number. I've been testing it for over 12 days, logging 17 hours in DCS in preparation for the video. There's a real buzz lately about helicopter sim, although many could simply bind their collective access to a normal throttle from a HOTAS. But I will say there's a big improvement in immersion if you have a bespoke collective. If you want more reality in your experience, it's only to seek out something more specialized, and that is what I found out when I reviewed the collective base 2 months ago. Quick recap on that: all metal construction, solid mounting, bearings anywhere where something moves, and contactless high-resolution sensors. Virpil thought about the future, so they created a modular set where all you need to do is switch grips, perform a quick rebind, and you're set. So overview first, then how it's different from the Shark of 50, and then I'm going to end with some observations. So externally it's solid with injected molded grip halves bolted through. All gaps are close and the grip is a very nice fine texture. They're quite really dissimilar layouts, and I really needed to research to understand the actual grip that they're based on. The UH-60 collective that this is based on isn't exactly the same, but I suppose that we can say the spirit is very clearly evident. The text is in English and all the labels are quite similar. Starting on the left, there's a two-way with push for your turbine speed. This would be good if your collective didn't have a twist throttle. On the actual UH-60, this controls the landing lights. Emergency hook is a 1-to-1 copy, including the slightly recessed lip to prevent accidental deployment. I was shocked and happy to see that it was ringed with a light. In software, it can be set to any Rgb color, or for you hardcore pilots, this can be turned off. But why would you do that? It's so pretty. It inspired me to do a full red theme for testing the throttle, grip, and panel 2. To the right of that, there's a 4-way with push for the searchlight control labeled exactly like the real grip, but this is expanded on the Hawk 60 as the original grip only has a 2-way with push. Servo is faithful to the original with 2-way momentary labeled first and second stage, dead neutral, and then momentary up and down. The switch is quality with a nice clean action, again protected from unwanted deployment. The 4-way with push is in the correct place with slight variations on the label. Searchlight control is centered like the original with other 4-way and a push, again labeled like the original. We round out this grip with 2 major changes that are not on the Shark of 50, and this is a 5-way castle on the thumb and a single-stage trigger underneath. On the real aircraft, the thumb 5-way is intended to offer control over the HUD, and the trigger can be bound as a secondary weapons release if needed. So unlike some other triggers that are on other grips, this has a little bit of free play before it actually bottoms out and then you pull with a satisfying click. I don't think it's bad, and I don't think it's mushy, I don't think it's loose, but it's just unusual that that wasn't made into a 2-way trigger. I know that it's likely meant to be exactly like the real helicopter, but with so many other liberties being taken, why not just add a second button? Maybe it's down to the numbers that they're allowed to put on each grip. I just thought I would mention it so that when you buy yours and get it, you're not shocked by that. I couldn't actually figure out what it actually is on the real helicopter, so any of you real pilots out there, if you know, please comment in the comments. So now I find myself having difficulty in choosing which I thought was better, which is a real first world problem if you've ever seen one. I do like the grippy texture of the Sharka 50, but both feel great, especially about 5 minutes after warming up to your hand. Being able to put decals all over the Sharka 50 is a great level of customization, but English, being my primary language, somehow made the Hawk 60 a little bit more appealing for me. I suppose it'll really come down to what aircraft I happen to be flying if I wanted to get that next level of immersion. I've been flying the Huey lately, and we know the AH-64 is releasing soon. If they add UH-60 to DCS, I would feel compelled to use this exclusively. But that would be like the Sharka 50 for the Hokum. I do always love to be able to play in VR with as many of the switches where they're supposed to be. This lets me interact correctly with what I can see in game. So now we come to the close of the video, and I have no real opinion which you should own. I believe it's great to have choice, and it would really be down to that personal taste. I believe there will be a small section of the community who will need to buy both to achieve the next level, and I feel that only time will tell which gets used more here in the studio. I made a handy chart that I'm going to leave overlaid for a bit. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time. I'm going to tell you it's more than buttons, because the layout is important. If you are only about buttons, the new Hawk 60 wins, but I'm going to highlight that the Sharka 50 has a simple layout with more flippy toggles. So thank you for spending your time with me, and thanks to Virpil for the opportunity to act as an early tester for their newest grip. I love the way it clearly takes inspiration from the real grip, and its quality gives me the confidence to expect it to last for years and years of daily use. I appreciate Virpil putting so much thought into the options that we have access to. We keep getting updates to new games, and Virpil is there with more grip options. Links to anything you might need are in the description. Please stay tuned for more, or offer suggestions on how I might improve. Please share the video anywhere or with anyone who you might think is interested. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.